So excited for today's video because you don't have to be a morning person or even identify as somebody who's super productive and gets a lot of stuff done in the morning for these concepts to work for you in your day-to-day life. Hi there, welcome if you're new here. My name is Jessica and I'm a holistic and functional nutritionist, but I'm mainly just an everyday mom who's here to help women feel their absolute best. So I want to let you in on a little secret. I am actually not a morning person. However, if you've watched any of my videos about my morning routine or my daily vlogs, you will see I start my mornings very early. I know that doesn't exactly add up, but 8 years ago, well, over 8 years ago now, when I became a mother, I realized that I needed to start my days before my children woke up. And that has become a highly critical motivator in helping me transition to be more of a morning person. Now, my mornings are highly sacred. I still am not like super peppy and joyful and cheery when I wake up, but there's so many things I do before 8 a.m., 10 of which I'm sharing here today, that help me get the most out of my mornings, that by 9 or 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, I feel highly productive. I feel like I've accomplished a ton, and it gets that motivation rolling through the rest of the day. So I'm excited to share all of these amazing tips and tricks so you can start implementing them in your routine. So if you're somebody who does struggle getting up in the morning and mainly feeling like there's enough time to get everything done, then I would highly encourage you to do this first tip, and that's to set an alarm to 15 minutes earlier than you think you need to. So let's say right now, you're currently waking up at 6:45. I would encourage you to set that alarm for 6:25, knowing that you'll be up, ready to go, headed to the kitchen for our next few tips by 6:30. This gives you that little bit of cushion to get in these things on the list to ensure that you start your day off on the best foot. So for me, I know that I need to be downstairs in order to start checking things off my list by no later than 5:20. So I always set my alarm for 5 a.m. Some seasons, if work is a little bit busier, I will set it for 4:45, but typically my body will wake up naturally between 4:55 and 5:10 every single day. So I'm up before that alarm goes off. But if for some reason I stayed up too late watching Netflix or staying up later than I necessarily need to, I do have that alarm set. Then this moves into my second tip, and that is to get up immediately. It also coincides with my third tip, is that do not check your phone. I leave my phone on airplane mode for the first hour I wake up. I also sleep with my phone on airplane mode, which that's not part of these tips, but I would highly encourage you to do so, to put your phone on airplane mode, especially if it is next to your head. You guys know how I feel about EMFs and everything that we can do to protect ourselves from any harmful effects of electromagnetic fields. So I do sleep with my phone on airplane mode, or you could get a Faraday bag and you could wrap your phone in it, even if you have EMF protection. That way your phone could be on that with do not disturb set to just your favorites if you do know that you potentially could be getting a phone call. So that's just a few quick tips. But if you are somebody who does have it on do not disturb and it is in an EMF protection, when you wake up, keep it on do not disturb or put it in airplane mode. I do not check my phone. I do not check social media. I refuse to scroll. Sometimes I will take a picture or I will take a video and I will post it later. So those are my top 3 tips right away that we kind of went through rapid fire. That is to set that alarm earlier, get up immediately, and do not check your phone. Now, if you're anything like me, the first thing that you crave when you wake up is coffee. I love coffee. I drink black coffee. I love the taste of coffee. There's something about coffee that is essential to my morning routine. However, if you have followed any of my content here on YouTube or Instagram, or now even Pinterest, I've been loving Pinterest. If you follow any of my content, then you know the first thing I do when I head down to my kitchen is I make my lemon ginger tonic. Spent the last 7 to 8 hours, hopefully, getting deep, beautiful, restful sleep. Our body was in REM or deep REM, deep sleep stages, which you know my obsession with the Oura Ring, and I've been measuring my sleep with the Oura Ring for about 20 months now. So if our body has been in these deep, beautiful stages, it's been doing everything we want it to, and that includes proper detoxification of not only our lymphatic system through our liver and our other organs, but it's been detoxing our glymphatic system, which is composed of our deep tissue organs, so our brain, our heart, our lungs, and all night long, our body has been detoxifying. So in the morning, when we wake up, the first thing we want to do is help our body flush out all of those toxins that it has worked so hard and so beautifully to bring to the surface so that we could properly expel them. And there is no better way to do that than with my lemon ginger tonic. I feel out of everything that I have shared over the last 4 years here on YouTube and Instagram, I am probably most known for this recipe, and I will of course have it linked for you in the description box down below. But the lemon ginger tonic is a beautiful way to, one, of course, flush out the toxins from our liver and our digestive system, to rev up our digestive system with these nourishing ingredients like lemon and ginger. Ginger is a beautiful way to rev that metabolism first thing in the morning, which I'm not sure about you. If there's any time to jumpstart our metabolism, it would be right away when we wake up. So once I get downstairs, that is the absolute first thing that I do. I make this beautiful lemon ginger tonic. And inside my membership area for the month of June, we are focusing on beauty from the inside out. If you're looking for that beautiful anti-inflammatory vitamin C rich nutrients, then this is the drink for you. If you want your skin to have that radiant, beautiful glow, then I would highly encourage you to add this to your routine. So I take my lemon ginger tonic, and then I do my 5th tip, and that is to carve out 15 to 20 minutes for yourself. This could either be doing some daily meditation or prayer. I like to do some daily meditation first thing in the morning. Then I like to follow it up with some gratitude journaling. So I'll have a little bit of my lemon ginger tonic, then I sit down and I do about 5 to 8 minutes of meditation in the morning, and then I do about 5 to 8 minutes of daily gratitude journaling. And this is just for me, so that I feel like both of my feet are planted on the ground. Not when I'm meditating. I feel like both of my feet are planted on the ground for the rest of the day. That way when my kids wake up and they're firing a million different questions at me from the second they come out of their bedrooms, I know that I have a really stable foundation, that I have taken time for myself. And this was that biggest motivator that I mentioned to you guys earlier in the video. This was that biggest motivator for me to wake up, because it may sound a little bit selfish, but I found when I had this time to myself, I felt like I filled up my own cup, right? We need to pour in our cup first because we can't pour from an empty cup, whatever that saying is, but we cannot pour from an empty cup. Now we have nourished our body and we have filled our cup with a beautiful lemon ginger tonic, and we have done something for ourselves. Maybe it's a little bit of deep tissue stretching, maybe it's legs up the wall. I have shared that I do that in my morning routine when I wake up. I will link that video for you up here in the cards as well as the description box down below, but it's all of my favorite wellness tips and tricks that you can do from the comfort of your bed. That's a great one. You will love that video. But so maybe you've done legs up the wall. Maybe you've done your morning prayer and devotion. You've had that quiet time to do that journaling. Maybe you've made a to-do list so that way you know what's ahead of you. Whatever that is, carve out this time for yourself because you will feel a bit more at ease as the day gets going. A really critical part of being able to wake up and be productive and get all of these health and wellness habits into my morning routine is getting deep, restful sleep. I know the thought of being able to wake up, not hit snooze, and immediately hop out of bed, all while staying off of your phone, may seem like a long shot if you're not getting that deep, restful sleep. But if you're a subscriber of my channel or if you've been watching my content for the last 2 years, then you know that my ultimate hack to getting deep, restful sleep is the Bioptimizer's Magnesium Breakthrough. The Magnesium Breakthrough differs from any other magnesium on the market because it does contain all 7 elemental forms of magnesium in one convenient capsule. So as I've mentioned, you all know that I love measuring my sleep with my Oura Ring, and some nights I'm better than others about getting to bed before 10:30 p.m. That's always typically my goal. And on the nights that I take the Bioptimizer's Magnesium Breakthrough, I say that I take 2, and then the second that I get into bed and my head hits the pillow, I am out. My latency is typically between 3 and 5 minutes, meaning once I'm in here, my body knows that it is time to go to sleep. I have 0 issues falling asleep, 0 issues staying asleep. The most incredible thing is that my REM and my deep sleep are 30 to 40% higher on the nights that I take my Bioptimizer's Magnesium Breakthrough, which, to be honest with you, is every single night. If we go out of town or we're staying at my parents' house on the weekend and I happen to forget this, which doesn't really happen, but if I do, then I can see a substantial change in my sleep numbers. The great news is, because it does contain all 7 elemental forms of magnesium, taking 1 in the morning is not going to make you feel groggy or tired. It's going to help with your energy. It's going to help with your cognition. It's going to help you synthesize your vitamin D levels. So I love to take 1 in the morning as part of my morning supplement stash as well. And then I do like to take 1 before that afternoon rush when the kids get home from school, because it does help me just feel more calm, relaxed, and it helps to just take the edge off. But those 2 before bed, my body is so well trained. Once we take these 2 magnesiums and we crawl into bed, it is absolute lights out. I always joke it's like a TKO moment because unlike a melatonin, it's not going to knock you out, but my rhythm and my body is so used to it that it takes me under 5 minutes to fall asleep. So if you're interested in trying the Bioptimizer's Magnesium Breakthrough, then I will have my link for you in the description box down below, as well as my code Jessica10, where you can use that to save 10%. I will also have it for you in the first pinned comment. I would highly encourage you to order the 3-pack because this is a product that you're always going to want to have on hand. Now I've had my tonic and I've done a little bit of something for myself and for my mind and for my spirit. At this point, I get myself a delicious coffee and I jump into some creative work. For me, I am most fresh and creative first thing in the morning. As I mentioned, my kids wake up and they come out of their bedroom. I said, it feels like rapid fire questions coming at me left and right. And I have to switch into mom mode really, really quickly, which I feel like I never switch out of mom mode, but you know what I mean. I feel like I'm in that mode of just like getting things checked off our to-do list and getting everybody out the door on time. So I like to do my big creative tasks first thing in the morning. When I'm sharp, I'm fresh, I have all of that energy, that fresh, beautiful energy buzzing through me, and I feel the most creative at this time. So for you, maybe it's painting, maybe it's drawing, maybe it is working on that presentation for your boss that you need to get done. And a few days from now, if you kind of split it up into 15-minute windows, you'll find that once you get those creative juices flowing, it's much easier. I love to come up with video concepts at this point. I love to work on new recipes for the membership area. I feel so creative and inspired when it's quiet and there's no distraction. So I find that working on those creative tasks first thing in the morning is so helpful for the rest of my day. So this tip is something you hear in every single video, probably all of my videos that involve a morning routine and everybody else's, but I couldn't not include it. It's one of those things that will always be a staple, and that is to make your bed. Know it, I know it, we all know the importance of having a clean and clear space, and making your bed is like low-hanging fruit. It's one of those things that once you do it, once it becomes a habit and a routine, you will be so grateful when you pass by your bedroom throughout the day and you see that fresh, clean slate. And then more than anything for me, it's so much more enjoyable at the end of the day to get into a made bed. I don't want to jump in and relax at the end of my day in a messy bed. So I'm highly motivated knowing that at the end of the day, I'm going to be grateful for this freshly made bed, but also I'm going to be grateful throughout the day. It's kind of like getting whiffs of your perfume when I walk by my bedroom and I see that beautiful clear space. It gives me just that little bit of a boost and almost like a warm hug, seeing that I did something not only for myself, but also for the environment that I live in. If you follow me on Instagram, then you see my daily post of me walking to the bus and then after that, finishing off my morning round of steps. Over 2 years ago, I made a promise to myself that I was going to hit 12K steps per day, and I like to split these up into different times. So I like to move my body in the morning. It's not first thing, but I found a way to integrate it into my routine. And that's when I take my son to the bus. So when I walk my son to the bus, I like to follow it up with a quick loop of my street or a quick loop of the cul-de-sac or even just down the street and back to really begin getting my steps in. It is not a full-blown workout first thing in the morning. Some mornings I'm able to get in more movement than others, but what I've done is I've niched this into that morning routine so it has become a habit. And now I would say 362 days out of the year, I reach, if not exceed, 12,000 steps per day. Most days I'm closer to 15 to 16,000. And the way that I'm able to accomplish this is I break it up into bite-sized pieces. And so first thing in the morning, obviously I'm moving around, I'm walking around, I'm getting clothes, I'm starting the laundry, I'm ticking off all of these different tasks. And that helps build the momentum in getting these steps in. Then I hop outside, I walk my son to the bus stop, and walking to the bus stop, after that, as I said, I like to do a quick loop and get some extra steps in. Having just that slight movement, if it's only 2,000 to 3,000 steps before I start my workday, is so encouraging, because then I take a break around 11 o'clock, I get a few more steps in, and then before I get the kids off the bus, I do another lap outside. And now, of course, it's June, it's beautiful and sunny outside, but you guys know I was fully dedicated to doing this in January and February. When it was like 5 to 8 degrees outside, I was still outside getting my steps in first thing in the morning. I was taking off my sunglasses, I was looking indirectly up at the sun, This is not part of this tip, but it's just a bonus. I was looking indirectly at the sun to get my vitamin D so that I can synthesize my magnesium. And that was so important to me. And this healthy habit is honestly something that I contribute to why I'm so productive and how I'm able to stay motivated, because I'm moving my body and I'm doing it in a way that makes sense for me and for my routine. Some days it's Pilates, some days it's a HIIT workout, some days it's a little bit more strength training, but most of the days it is just simply walking. Hitting that 12K per day is so motivating to me. And honestly, it has just kept me accountable to the goals that I set for myself. So if you can include a little bit of movement in the morning before 8 a.m., you will be shocked at how much more motivated you are to move your body throughout the rest of the day. So as a holistic and functional nutritionist, food is obviously extremely important to me, and consuming a nutrient-dense breakfast is at the top of the list. So you guys know I am a huge fan of smoothies. I refer to them as my ultimate insurance policy. I will link other videos for you up here in the cards, as well as the description box for other smoothies that I've shared here on my channel. But either having a smoothie or a chia pudding is such an easy and nutrient-dense way to get in a ton of healthy phytocompounds, minerals, and essential amino acids into your diet first thing in the morning, thus giving you more energy throughout the day. And last but certainly not least is picking one area of your home to clean. So for me, it is typically my kitchen, but sometimes I will find that I'll do the kitchen and the playroom, because I find when these larger spaces are clean, kind of like the bedroom, it's like getting that whiff of perfume throughout the day. Once I have that area cleaned before I head into the office, before I get to work, I find that I feel more accomplished and definitely more stable because there's no clutter in and around the area and my environment. So finding one area to get cleaned in the morning will be so helpful. It will also be encouraging to you later in the day when you get back home from work, or if you do work from home or you stay at home, because then it doesn't feel like such a huge undertaking because you're just taking on one space at a time. I want to thank you all so much, and if you like today's video, you can let me know by giving this a big thumbs up, and now the subscribe button is right over here on the screen. Give that a click, that way you don't miss a single video, and I hope to see you back here next Thursday.